Hello everyone, my name is Cora Knatzer. I am a junior at Ball State University majoring in microbiology and pre-medicine. So I will be studying for the MCAT this coming November and taking it in April and then applying after that, which I'm super excited about. So today I'm going to be making Jello cake. It's going to be presented to this class of college students in Honors 296. I think it's a wonderful recipe because it's quick and easy and you can take it to any event that you go to. So the premise of a Jello cake is that you make a basic cake, which we're going to go through the science of using a cake mix, which we haven't done. And then we're also going to make a gelatin mix, or the Jello, and then pour it onto the cake mixture to give it a very moist, wonderfully delicious taste. And then we're going to use our foam science to make whipped cream, whip the whipped cream, and make a beautiful topping. So to begin making our Jello cake, we first need to make our regular vanilla Duncan Hines cake mix. So the first step is to preheat our oven to 350 for glass pans, which is what we're going to be using. Perfect. The next step in our recipe is to add all of the cake mix, 1 cup of water, 3 large egg whites, and 1/3 cup of vegetable oil. Okay, so we are going to beat on medium speed for 2 minutes. Okay, we have beat the mixture for 2 minutes. It's definitely looking a lot better than it was before. There's no clumps. It's very liquefied. Looks very yummy. The ingredients in the cake mix are extensive, but the main ingredients are the emulsifiers, fats, and flour. All the ingredients found on this list are in the Duncan Hines cake mix. When mixing, the emulsifiers and fats hold together the introduced air bubbles. Gluten is formed when flour and water are mixed. When the batter is heated, the leavening agent releases carbon dioxide, which inflates the air bubbles as the gluten stretches and creates the solid cake structure. Okay, so the cake is done after 20 minutes. It looks great. It's perfect. And nothing came out when I put the toothpick in it. So now I'm going to cover it in aluminum foil, put it in the refrigerator because I have a few things to do, which is so nice about this recipe because it's super quick and you can make it in multiple time frames. So, see you then. Hello, I am back from running errands. The cake has been in the refrigerator and it looks perfect. So now we're just going to make the Jello as it says on the box and go from there. When making the Jello mixture, the solid substance from the Jello package was the solute and the water was the solvent. This created a homogeneous solution. The boiling water unfolded gelatin's amino acids and dissolved the particles. When cold water was added, the molecules slowed and hydrogen bonding occurred between the gelatin and water. Now that the gelatin mix is made, I'm going to use a fork to poke holes all around the cake. I'm going to leave a little piece off to compare the Jello cake with the normal cake. Okay, so the holes are poked evenly and the rows are about 1 inch apart, and then I left this one to compare. Now I'm simply going to pour the gelatin mix over the cake. Making sure to leave that spot clear. Gelatin mix is soaking into all of the holes. It's going to be so yummy. Okay, so the cake has been in the refrigerator all night. It's very good. Now it's time to make the whipped cream topping. To make our whipped cream topping, we're going to make sure that we're using 1 cup of heavy whipping cream, making sure that we buy heavy to ensure that we have a higher milk fat protein compared to regular whipping cream. We're going to add 1 cup, which will usually turn into about 2 cups because of the addition of air bubbles. Per 1 cup, you need 2 tablespoons of sugar. And 1 teaspoon of pure vanilla extract. Now we're going to mix the whipped cream mixture for about 2 minutes to give it a very fluffy texture, making sure not to whip anymore because the milk will curdle. We're going to whip on medium-high. Here is the whipped cream after about 1 minute of mixing. It's still very liquid. So we need to keep whipping to increase the number of air bubbles and thus medium peaks. Here is the finished product after 2 minutes of mixing. Perfect peaks. The beating of the heavy whipping cream introduces air bubbles. This causes fat globules in the heavy whipping cream to clump into chains and spread the air bubbles throughout. After a few minutes of beating, these perfect medium peaks form. The vanilla and the sugar are used as sweeteners. As you can see, the finished product is much thicker and higher in volume than originally. So the beating allowed for the entrapment of all the air bubbles and thus the growth in the volume. Here at the cake, you can see that all of the strawberry jello mix has seeped through deep into the cake. We have our 1 spot without the jello so that we can compare. Now we're just going to top the cake with the whipped cream. Spread it all over. Okay, here is the finished product. You can see that the whipped cream, though just the 1 cup of heavy whipping cream made this much whipped cream. Looks perfect. Okay, so here is our finished cake. So this is our normal with all of the jello, and this is actually the piece that had no jello poured over it, which you can tell that jello seeped through. However, there are some parts on the cake that are only vanilla. So that part there. So I'm bringing this cake to my wonderful niece who just took a nap.
Okay, let's try it.
So she's going to try just the vanilla side.
That's really good.
Really good. Okay.
Let's try the other side.
What about the other side?
The other side is delicious, more good, more moist.
All right, you approve?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. Let's see how it tastes.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah,
It's delicious. Mia asked if she could have it. Yeah, you can have it. I decided to take the cake to the fair for my other Fair Board members to try. I asked a few of them what they thought the difference between the Jello cake and a normal cake was. Many stated that the Jello cake was very moist. Surprisingly, many people like the cake that normally don't like cakes. They stated because the cake was wet and tasted similar to strawberry shortcake, They enjoyed it much more than a dry cake. This is a great explanation of how the Jello moistens the cake mixture as it seeps down. The whipped cream topping also gives a light and airy taste to those who are not a fan of rich buttercream toppings. Okay, now that the cake is done and that we've tried it, you can simply just put some aluminum foil or a different cover over it and stick it in the fridge until you want some more. Okay, so thank you for watching my video of how to make this wonderful strawberry Jello cake. I think it's an awesome recipe. It's really fast and you can do it in different time frames like I did. So you can take it to any event and you can choose any flavor of Jello. It's just really cool. So I think I'll do lemon next. Thank you guys.